All right, guys, we're here from the Madden Bomber League Network, and we have Rex Dickson here with us today. We just watched you play a game against the computer there. Tough game down to the end. Is the difficulty on the computer, is that different from before? Is it going to be a blowout, or are they going to be tough games coming down to the end now?
It's tough games for sure. The computer is more effective this year. They're smarter this year. They have more tools at their disposal this year. Essentially, with the new zones and the new gaps, there's a defensive counter to everything you can run on offense. So if you keep running the same plays against the CPU this year, they'll counter it and stop it. It sort of forces you to adjust and adapt your game plan. But yeah, we're seeing that games are lower scoring this year and more defensive, for sure.
And I like that, because I know playing CPU a couple times, you can really just run the same 4 plays usually and kind of get through them. So having them adapt is really something that's nice. But also, I've seen you on Twitter a lot, and you're saying this is definitely the most authentic Madden that there is to date. So I want to get your opinion on a couple reasons why this is definitely the best one.
The reason I think it's the most authentic is because gaps, zones, special teams, they're all things that were missing from the game that actually happen in real world football. So we didn't really go after any big marketing gimmick type features this year, or like stuff that's targeted at the casuals. It's all hardcore sim and competitive community focused features. With more of the devs on Twitter and more of the devs in Twitch streams listening, engaging with the fans, we're taking our direction directly from the community about what direction they want the game to go in. Versus our marketing department or our creatives deciding this is what I want to do. We're building what the community is asking us to do, and I think the game's gotten a lot better for it.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. And actually, one community question I had was from AU165, and he wanted to know what exactly was the reasoning that you guys for this Madden really went in on the gaps and the defensive coverages. What was the reason that was going to be the main focus for this Madden?
That we felt Clint and I felt pretty strongly that those are the two biggest pieces of missing elements that were not in the game that needed to be there for it to be real. Gaps was huge because gaps effectively allows you to stop any run concept, right? And having forced defenders and cutback defenders in the secondary, these are concepts we've never had before. A guy who's responsible not for making the tackle, but for forcing the run play back inside. That opened up cutback lanes, zone blocking. It kind of had a cascading effect of it looks more real, it feels more real, it looks more real, it plays more real, and just one by one, the game just started becoming a much more authentic simulation.
Yeah, and like I said, I've played it. I totally agree 100% with you. I've seen running the ball when the cutback lanes, they're there. If you can make the right reads when you're running the ball, you can get some good holes and everything. It's great there. Another community question I had from a Madden Ballers Club, he wanted to know on the plays where wide receivers are running and they kind of get caught on the defenders towards the middle of the field, is that going to happen as often, or are we going to see pass interference? I know I have seen in my games playing when guys are running downfield, the pass interference is actually called when the ball is getting caught, before the ball is getting caught, rather than just at the line, the holding and stuff like that, how it was in last Madden.
So we have defensive holding at the line on the press and beat presses. In Sim and CFM, you'll be able to get pass interference penalties. What we didn't touch is the user bumping stuff. We tried a few things, but every implementation of that we tried was just leading to a lot of pass interference penalties for anyone who's trying to use it in the defense, because accidental bumping is going to happen. So what we decided to do instead is when we ripped out kind of legacy physics, we sort of built what we call a new blipping solution, which is how players will rub and bump off of each other. So you'll see a lot less of that sort of wonkiness as they bump. They sort of get cleanly around each other now. So I think it's improved, but we haven't completely solved that problem of users bumping people off routes yet.
And then one more thing I want to kind of talk about, kind of on the same line, was I've seen you mention a couple times about usering. Now, I personally don't understand why people don't user a cornerback when they're trying to catch the ball or something like that, but really how important is it that to get, in a one-on-one matchup to user that cornerback, or just let the computer try to make the catch?
It's absolutely critical, and I'll tell you something big. User-controlled defenders are not susceptible to the fake-out system. So that's big, because if you don't click on defense chasing the ball carrier, your AI players can get faked out. As a user player, you can actually position yourself and make the tackle. But it's also big in pass defense. So all the complaints about the aggressive catch last year. If you don't user, the DB's probably going to go for an interception and get mossed on. If you user and hold SWAT, you're 90% likely to break that shit up. So if you fail to click on and you fail to use the swap mechanic and you get mossed, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see videos about it. I told you to click on. If you still refuse to click on, getting mossed is your problem, not mine.
And you know what? I 110% agree with that, because Madden's a game of user skill, and you got to be able to use the guys you're playing as. So one other thing, this is one of my favorite features that I've seen so far, and it's the ball getting added into the physics engine. I was talking to you about it earlier. The strip sacks on the quarterbacks, we've seen in Madden before how they'll kind of get tackled, fall to the side, and the ball will just kind of eke out. That's gone now. It's fully into the engine. Can you elaborate on some other things that this really helps change in the game?
Oh, geez. I'll tell you what, the rat catch right now in traffic over the middle, forget it. It's a knockout every time. You have got a possession catch this year. Using the possession catch as a strategic tool to counter the ball physics is a critical aspect of playing this year's Madden. Throwing into traffic doesn't work like it did in the past, because when defenders get in and hit that ball, it's coming out. Even when the game says he caught it, it's a match, if that defender hits you during the catch, hits the ball's gonna come out. That's why the possession catch is so huge this year when you're playing on offense.
And I love that, it's great. So one more thing I gotta get for you, Rex. Bomber's gonna kill me if I don't get it before we end it here. Tell us, who's the #1, the leading full immersion gaming on the Xbox One?
Madden Bomber League?
Madden Bomber League. Thank you for the time in the interview, Rex. And the game's looking great. I love it so far.
To everyone in your league and everyone out there in Madden Bomber League, we appreciate your continued support. Love what you guys do with the game, and we'll stay active with you on Twitter.
All right, thank you, Rex.